London became the playground of a bloodthirsty criminal. It was the 1990s when Colin Ireland started his campaign of terror with a special focus on the gay community.
Your advice to the gay community tonight?
Yes, quite simple. Be careful. Don't pick up a stranger. Don't go out on one-night stands. It's dangerous. You could be next.
The streets of the English capital were stained red. It wasn't one or two crimes that were being investigated, but 5 men had lost their lives. Ireland's identity was still unknown to the police. However, time would eventually reveal everything, including the killer's dark personality.
My barmaid at the time, she didn't like him at all. She warned me off him right from the word go. She said, no, there's something not right.
That evil side of him that followed him everywhere. It somehow became a sort of calling card, one that Ireland was fully aware of.
I mean, I'm probably 60–70% quite a reasonable human being most of the time. But there is that side of my character that is negative. It's quite cold and calculating.
The crime scenes were gruesome. However, his motivation for committing the attacks was what really marked everyone involved in the investigation.
The guy sounded very normal, very ordinary, and was just started talking about 2 dogs locked in a flat. And I kept politely saying, I'm really sorry, but it's not a story for the Sun. And then he just suddenly dropped this bombshell that the reason he was actually phoning us was that he wanted the dogs to be freed because he'd killed their owner.
Ireland's thirst went beyond just committing a crime. His real goal was to achieve fame and recognition. When he saw that his first murder hadn't made the press, he decided to call one of the biggest newspapers in England himself to anonymously confess to the horrible scene that the police would find.
He said the man he'd killed was gay, and that he was interested in kinky sex, was the way he put it. I tried to keep him talking to get as much information as I could.
Colin Ireland's life had been difficult from the start. His father had abandoned him, and his mother was a very poor woman, so they had to move from place to place trying to survive. This marked him forever. Anxiety became part of him. However, the final click to start leaving his bloody footprint was another one. He got fired from his last known job.
The assistant manager came to me and felt that Colin's behaviour on occasions wasn't appropriate, and she was rather concerned about this. That matter was taken to the committee, and they decided then that it probably would be a good idea to let Colin go.
This would be the final break for Colin. During the New Year's celebration, he made the most momentous decision of all: to achieve fame by becoming a prolific serial killer. His anxiety was palpable, and even his friends noticed, even though they had no idea what he was hiding.
That year, Colin came in, he sat down, we were watching TV, the news was on, and there was a report about the killings in London. And Colin turned to me and said, you know, what do you think of this thing? And my reply was, oh, there's another nutter on the loose. Had no idea that it was him.
It was the thirst for fame that would end up landing Colin in jail. He kept calling the newspapers and the police to confess to his crimes, something that eventually took its toll. 5 men lost their lives at his hands in the cruelest of ways, making him one of England's most notorious serial criminals.